Hello everyone again. Today I want to talk about the fucking bloody spiral. What is the spiral? Like many times if you pay attention in your life, you feel like you are getting back to the same exact step you were in like a year before or 2 years before. Or like you will start like to find cycles, especially if you are on a healing journey. Sometimes it can feel frustrating. Like it starts to happen more and more. The more aware you are, the more conscious you become, the more you start realizing this fucking pattern. It happened to me this year. Like basically, I realized at the end of October that what was happening since August was exactly the same shit that happened the year before. Exactly the same stuff. Same mistake made, same pattern happening. And then speaking with a friend, she reminded me of something that I actually knew already, which is basically that there are spirals in the healing process, in the growth process, in the self-accomplishment process. So instead of being scared of them, you should just be aware that they're like part of life, part of this process, part of this journey. And I've come to think that basically there are two types of spirals. One is when you haven't learned your lesson. So life, the universe, is throwing it back at you. Same situation, in almost like in an obvious way, saying like you haven't passed this class yet, so you're gonna take it again, and that's fine. Actually, when it happened to me, it was during the COVID, so it was easier for me to justify saying, well, actually, that sounds like it happened to a lot of other people at the same time. But to me, it was absolutely obvious. This is like a spiral when you actually feel like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm here again. I'm here in this stupid situation again. And the reason, well, the obvious reason there why that is happening is because you haven't learned your lesson. And for me, it's really important to how you say this. It's not to beat yourself up saying you fucking failed, you fucking piece of shit, you got it wrong, you failed, that's bad. It's actually simply you had more time to work on the little things that made it hard for you to actually learn that lesson. And actually, the learning a lesson has come to have like almost a negative meaning. For if you are like me and you hate like tough love, I would hate that. Like fuck you and fuck your lesson. But actually, the universe wants to give you a gift, wants to give you something good, wants to give you something great, and you haven't simply understood that. Probably, at least that was my case, you haven't allowed yourself to receive something. You haven't allowed yourself to feel worthy of moving on. That you don't have to repeat that shit, that stupid pattern, that you can go on. And usually that comes with fear. I mean, the reason why you haven't done it the first time was because you were scared, or because you were guilty, or because you didn't feel worthy enough. When you choose to do it, to accept the gift the universe is giving you, to learn your lesson, you'll feel scared. And the key thing here is that basically when you feel self-entitled, resentful, and angry, you're not healing. You're not on the right path. That should be like almost like a little light that comes on and say, wait, that is probably not the right path. And when instead you feel scared and you don't know exactly of what, or you do know, is like basically you think this could happen, that could happen, I don't have this, and I don't have that, and I don't know about this, then it means you're on the right path. And that's normally the reason why you haven't learned it the first time. But in the meantime, you've learned lots of other things. And that's why the second time around, you can learn your lesson, or overcome whatever you need to overcome, or choose the path that you're meant to be choosing. And then there is another type of spiral, and that is a much longer cycle. Like when years later you come to face the same challenge, what like on paper sounds and reads like the same challenge that you had to face 5 years earlier or 10 years earlier. And that is simply because you are doing it at a new step, at a new level. You overcame that challenge, but you overcame it at the first level, at a lower level. And now you're ready, because you've done so much work, to face the next one, to face the next level. So it's the same, it was your nemesis or whatever it is, or overcoming whatever it is that you had to overcome. Learning boundaries, for example, learning to let go, or whatever it is. But now you're facing it at a much higher level. spirals, the reason why I speak about spirals is like because they can feel about like circles. They can feel like circles saying, I can't believe I'm not progressing, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm basically at the same place. I was running around in circles and now I'm back here. But you're not. You're back there, but at a higher level. So there are 3 dimensions. And on the third one, you're upper. You are above. All right. I hope this was helpful, and as always, it was a great pleasure to be with you. Ciao.